welcome to today's yoga practice. Let's go ahead and begin. So today we'll start in child's pose. So come to sit back on the heels. Big toes are together and knees can stay together or they can come apart. And then begin to walk the hands out in front of you. And forehead comes to the floor. Stretching the arms out long and aiming the tailbone towards the heels. We'll stay here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, walk the hands over to the left, keeping the hips where they are. Lowering the forehead back down to the ground. And then aiming the right armpit towards the floor, feeling a stretch down the right arm and right side of the body. Then on your next inhale, we'll take the arms over to the other side, lowering the forehead down. And then aiming that left armpit towards the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Lower the forehead down. And take one last deep inhale here. And then exhale through the nose or mouth. From here, press up into a tabletop position with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. We'll flow through a couple of cat-cow here. So inhale to lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale, press the floor away from you, around the back. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale to come into your cat position, rounding the back, pressing the floor away from you. And one more time. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral position, keeping the hips, the hips above the knees. Walk the hands out in front of you and then begin to lower the chest. Maybe the forehead comes to the floor. You could also let the chin rest on the floor. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Inhale to press back up. Keeping the hands out in front of you, take the right arm and thread it underneath the left, placing the shoulder and the side of the head down onto the floor. I like to tuck my chin here and give a little tuck to the tailbone. Breathing here. On your next inhale, press back up. We'll go to the other side. So take the left arm, thread it underneath the right, placing the shoulder on the ground and the left side of the head down onto the ground. And then if you'd like, you can go ahead and tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And then inhale to come back to center and returning to your tabletop position. We'll flow through 3 more cat-cow, this time going at your own pace. So begin on an inhale to come into your cow position. Exhale for cat. Do this 2 more times at your own pace. And then after your last time, come back to neutral. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back to come into your downward facing dog. So you can begin to pedal out the feet here. Maybe take the hips from side to side. And then on an inhale, begin to walk the feet between the hands. We'll come into a forward fold here. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the head relax by releasing the chin towards the chest. We'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, slowly roll up to stand. Come to raise the arms overhead. And then hold on to the left wrist and take the arms over to the right side and send the hips over to the left. You can gaze down at the floor, feeling a stretch down the left side of the body. And then inhale, come back to center. Hold on to the left wrist or the right wrist. Take the hands over to the left and let the hips press to the right. Gaze is down at the floor. And then inhale, come back to center. Lower the hands down beside you. We'll start flowing through some sun salutations. So inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift the chest away from the thighs. Exhale, step back to plank. So you can keep the knees lifted here, or you can drop them to the floor. We've got all our muscles engaged here, thighs, core, arms are pressing the floor away. Then we'll take an inhale here. Exhale, shift the weight forward and slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Place the forearms down onto the ground with the elbows underneath the shoulders or just slightly forward of the shoulders. Press the forearms into the ground and then lift the chest, lift the neck out of the shoulders so you're not sinking here. We'll take a few breaths here. Last inhale here. Exhale, lower the chest back down, pull the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press back to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause here. Breathe. Hips aiming up and back, pressing the floor away with the feet and hands. On your next inhale, walk the feet between the hands, lift the chest away from the thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, raise the arms overhead. And then exhale, lower the hands back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. So remember, knees can be up or down on the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Keep the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press into the floor, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, walk the feet between the hands and lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, raise the arms overhead. And then exhale, lower the hands back down. One more time. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, you can lower all the way down or you can come into chaturanga. And then inhale to come into your cobra or an upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, and then open up the hip. Press equally into both hands. And take one deep breath here. And then square the hips again. Inhale, bring the knee to nose. And then step the right foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down toward the ground, coming into a low lunge here. And then lift the chest up, and hands can rest on the thigh, or you can have the hands overhead. We'll just breathe here for a couple of beats, feeling a stretch down the left front of the thigh here. And then take that right hand and drop it down onto a block beside you or onto the floor. Lift the left arm up and over, reaching over to the right. So now we're adding a stretch down the left side of the body. Inhale to come back to center, place the hands down onto the ground and step back to your plank position. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower into chaturanga or all the way down, and then find your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Inhale to lift the left leg, bend at the knee and then open up the hip. Pressing evenly into both hands. Take one full breath. Bring the hips back to center and then bring the knee to nose. Step the left foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. Coming back into our low lunge on the other side, lift the chest. And then remember, hands can be overhead or just placed down on the left thigh. We'll take a few breaths here. Let that left hand come down to the floor or a block beside you, and then reach the right arm up and over. Feeling a stretch down the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. Place the hands down onto the ground. Step back to plank. Take an inhale here, and then flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And once you find your downward dog, take a few breaths. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bring the knee to nose. Drop the right knee down behind the right wrist, and then the foot will rest between the left hand and left hip. Slide the left leg down the mat to come into your pigeon pose. So you have the option to stay here with the chest lifted, where you can begin to walk the hands out in front of you and lower the chest any amount. So we'll be here for a few breaths, feeling a stretch in the right hip. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift the chest, walk the hands back, and then find your plank position. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. So stay in your downward dog for just a few breaths. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring knee to nose. Drop the left knee down behind the left wrist, and the foot will rest between the right hand and right hip. Let the right leg go down along the mat. So option to stay here with the chest lifted in pigeon, or you can begin to lower the chest any amount. Taking several breaths here. On your next inhale, begin to lift the chest. Place the hands underneath you. Find your plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, flow through one more vinyasa. Find your downward facing dog. Rest here and breathe. On an inhale, drop the knees to the floor and come to find a seated position. So we'll move into boat pose from here. Placing the soles of the feet down onto the ground, rock back onto the sits bones. So you can stay here if this is challenging for you with the tippy toes just barely touching the floor, keeping the chest lifted. Or you can bring the shins parallel with the ceiling. Arms reaching out in front of you. Take a few breaths here. And then lower the toes back down. Take the knees out to the sides. Shake out the legs here. We'll do that 2 more times. So come to your starting position, soles of the feet down onto the ground. Lean back onto the sits bones. Toes barely touching the floor. Shins parallel with the ceiling. Or you can straighten the legs. And then come to shake the legs out again. We'll do that one last time. So come to your prepare position, soles of the feet down onto the ground. Rock back, chest lifted, toes touching, shins parallel with the ceiling, or legs can be straight. And then we'll come to our butterfly position again, shake out the legs. And then take the legs out long in front of you. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, send the chest forward. Have the sensation of sending the hips back behind you. And then begin to lower the forehead, chin to chest. Feeling a stretch down the back of the legs. On your next inhale, lift the chest. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. We'll set up for a twist here. So take the left arm, wrap it around the right leg. Right hand is going to rest on the floor behind you. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Last inhale here. Exhale, return to center. And then switch sides. So right leg goes long, left knee pulls in towards the chest. And then wrap the right arm around the left leg, left hand rests on the floor behind you. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Gaze is over the left shoulder. Last inhale here. Exhale, return to center. Take both legs out long in front of you. Maybe shake them out. I'm going to turn to face forwards. And then take the legs out wide. So we're in a straddle position here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, begin to walk the hands out in front of you, feeling a stretch in the inner thighs. We'll rest here for a moment. On your next inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands back towards you, and then come into a comfortable seated position. So inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the hands, clasp the hands behind you, and then let the hands rest on the right hip. Drop the right ear to right shoulder for a stretch down the left side of the neck. Take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly bring the head back to center and release the arms. Again, inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, lower, clasp the hands behind you. Take the hands over to the left hip and then drop the left ear to left shoulder. So feeling the stretch down the right side of the neck this time. And then on your next inhale, slowly return the head to center. Exhale, release the arms. And then just do a couple of shoulder rolls, sending the shoulders up towards the ears and back and down. And then going the other direction. And then let the hands just rest on the thighs or in the lap. Letting the eyes close. Back is straight but relaxed. And we'll just take a few mindful breaths before closing our practice. So breathing in through the nose. And then letting the breath go through the nose or mouth. Do that a couple more times. And then last time, deep inhale through the nose. And then let it go through the nose or mouth. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today. Bye.